I'm KG11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez, and we are under a weather impact alert from now at least until 8 p.m. as we could see some gusty storms. We're already tracking some heavy rain now moving into the west of the city. So definitely take it easy on the roadways, maybe take an umbrella and drive slower than the anticipated speed. As we go into the rest of our evening, we are expecting those temps to remain in the 80s, but rain chances still expected to be in the picture at least through maybe 6 p.m. As we look at radar right now, we are tracking some heavy showers and some storms, and we are seeing quite a bit of lightning with these storms as we head into looking at the current situation. Looking at our KHOU11 transmitter side, this is in Missouri City. You're able to see these gray clouds off towards the west, and that is actually headed towards the city of Houston as we head into the next maybe 30 minutes to an hour. So radar looking quite active right now. As we look at that situation, we're expecting that to continue tracking off towards the east. Right now, Katy looking at some heavy rain and lightning. These storms moving off towards the Beltway, the West Sam Houston Tollway, and along I-10. We're already starting to see some downpours flare up inside the loop just to the east of downtown Houston. But right now, the storms are not severe, but we are seeing some heavy rain that could lead to some ponding on roadways, at least within the next maybe hour or two. So as we look at the lightning counter, we've seen 50 lightning strikes within the past 10 minutes. Right now, we're seeing a lot of lightning and a lot of thunder happening in and around the Katy area, and this is actually heading towards the energy corridor. And so things are going to look mostly hazardous in terms of the road conditions for the next maybe hour or two. And one thing to note here is that we look at the 6-hour rain accumulations. These storms have already dumped close to just a little over an inch of rain as they were over towards the west of Katy. 1.7 in and around the Sealy area. So we could see these rain accumulations closer to Houston as that batch of storms move closer throughout Harris County. And that's when we were expecting to see at least through the next maybe hour or two. As we look at future track, we are expecting these storms to linger at least through 6:30, maybe close to 7 o'clock. And so that's going to definitely cause roadway ponding as we go through later this evening, especially if that rain we have a lot of rain lasting for that amount of time. So as we get closer towards maybe 7, 8 o'clock, that's when that storm chance eventually coming to an end. It's going to be mostly quiet tonight, and we could still see some lingering showers heading closer towards around the 2:30 maybe hour going into the next few hours for tomorrow. So looking at our flood risk today, areas from Houston through Huntsville, Conroe, Sugar Land, even Brenham, Columbus, we have a marginal risk for flooding. That's a 1 out of 4 on the flood index scale. So just keep that in mind that if we are heading into later this evening, it's looking more likely that we could be looking at a rather wet commute home from work later on today. So as we look at our radar once again, we are tracking some heavy showers and some storms and some heavy rain now moving in from the west, and this is headed towards Houston. We have quite a bit of lightning in and around the Katy area. This is moving off towards the northeast towards the 290 corridor. So we're about to start seeing all of our roadways endure some heavy rain within the next 2 to 3 hours. So definitely heavy rain once again moving closer towards Houston, and we are seeing some downpours starting to flare up just to the east of downtown Houston. So if we get this rain right now, it's rather slow moving. It's not moving fast at all. But if we see that slow moving heavy rain, that could lead to some ponding on roadways and some hazardous conditions, as well as some minor flooding in some locations. So looking mostly just close towards the zooming out a little bit, we are tracking a little bit of a boundary moving in from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So isolated storms now moving into the Huntsville area, but for Houston, we are tracking this heavy rain moving in from the west, and that is expected to remain in the picture at least through the next few hours. So some lightning, not severe right now. We're not looking at any gusty winds, just heavy rain and lightning are the primary concerns. But if you are in the Houston area, if you have any loved ones out in the pool or maybe outdoors, just might want to head indoors as we are seeing some lightning, quite a bit of it with these storms as they're moving closer to inside the Grand Parkway going into the next maybe 2 to 3 hours. So tracking some heavy rain and storms, and as well as that lightning counter. Right now, the number of strikes has decreased. We were looking at around 70 about maybe 20-30 minutes ago, but these storms have showing a little bit of signs of weakening, seeing about 37 within the past 10 minutes. But we are expecting this to continue at least through the next few hours, and that eventually could dump close to an additional maybe an inch to an inch and a half of rain in some locations as we head into later this evening. To kind of recap what's going on, we are expecting this to last at least through 6:30. Could still see some downpours, unfortunately, during the afternoon home commute, so be extra cautious on roadways as we are going to see some of all of our highways starting to endure this heavy rain activity, at least for the next few hours. And eventually that's coming to an end as we get closer towards the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hours tonight. A rather quiet night expected, but we are under a little bit of a marginal risk for flooding in terms of these showers. That's the main thing that we're looking at right now. Not expecting gusty winds with these storms as of now, but that doesn't mean that we could see some energy start flaring up, and that could bring some heavier storms and some maybe gusty winds at some point later on this afternoon. As far as your 7-day forecast, high temps in the upper 90s, lows in the 70s. We're going to see a chance for a shower or two maybe tomorrow. But next week, it's looking more active in terms of seeing more rain chances. So we are definitely starting off June with an unsettled weather pattern, but we're tracking those storms that are moving through and heading towards the Houston area within the next 30 minutes to an hour. So definitely be on the lookout. Of course, have 2 more ways to receive weather alerts, as well as we are going to continue to bring you updates on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app. Of course, meteorologist Kim Castro giving you the latest weather conditions and the latest forecast on the KHOU 11 news at 4 p.m.